these days, a lot of people do, a lot of people do certain things that you can't even imagine to put that place in order. Some people will tell you that that place is so big, like a borehole, so they are just inserting all manner of things inside there to make it tight. I don't know why people think about this, but it is something that happens. A lot of people put a lot of things, all manner of concoction, all manner of herbs and all the rest of them to make the place tight. Does it work? Please, I want to know. Somebody should tell me in the comment section if it actually works. Hello angels, how are we doing? Welcome once again to my channel. This is the Evangel. If you are seeing me for the first time, thank you. And if you have been coming to my channel and watching and going, still thank you. But why not consider to subscribe? Have you subscribed? What are you waiting for? Thank you so much anyways, but I know you might want to subscribe probably after seeing this video. Thank you so much. We are going to continue on our health series, and last time I made a video about intimacy, about 2 of them, and I got quite a number of reactions over those videos, and people actually love them. I mean, the way they were treated. Yes, they are serious issues, but I tried to bring some sense of humor into them. I didn't know I could be such a comedian. Today we are going to be discussing feminine hygiene, and the last time I asked some questions on my YouTube community and also asked on Facebook stories and Instagram stories. Although on YouTube I did not get any question. Why now? But I got some questions on my Facebook and Insta stories, so I'm going to be treating such questions. There are not really many, about 4 of them. Yeah, about 4 of them. So I'm going to be talking about them, and I'm going to be very brief about them also. I don't want this video to be that long because the intimacy ones were quite long, but I thank you for the length of time you watched, for the duration you watched. I know those videos were about 18 minutes plus, and I was getting an average watch time of like 12 minutes. I mean it means a lot to me that you were glued to your screen, watching me talk and probably laugh or giggle or just, I don't know what to say. But I thank you so much for all the people who have seen it, and if you have not seen those videos, I will still link them up so that you can grab them and see them. But today we're going to be doing feminine hygiene. How do we take care of that place? What is normal and what is abnormal? Hi angels, thank you so much for stopping by. I love you as always. Mwah. So the first question I have here is, it says, what is the proper hygiene for the vagina, and how do I know if I am healthy? Down. The proper hygiene for the vagina is to leave it the way it is. Yes, don't try to impress yourself by overdoing things. God has already made it clean. The vagina is very clean. It's one of the cleanest places you can get on your body. There is more, it's very moisturized, and the reason it is like that is because there are a normal flora in there, and these flora try to keep away the dangerous bacteria or microbes that may want to invade the place. So naturally the vagina is very clean. Naturally it is very clean, but sometimes due to poor hygiene and other stuff we are doing, man-made things we are doing, it seems like it's not clean. And before you will say that you are healthy down there, you must have monitored yourself. Check yourself. There is normal discharge and there is abnormal discharge. When you are having a normal discharge, you shouldn't be bothered. And the discharge also varies according to the time of your cycle. Most people during ovulation will have more discharge, while just a little, few days or few hours before menstruation, they will also have an increase in their discharge. Now what you try to know is, what is my discharge like? Some people's discharge is so smelly that they can't even bear it themselves. When this happens, you may want to think, what is happening down there? Now some people also use all the products in the market to take care of down there without knowing that they are really harming themselves rather than take care of that place. The vagina is very clean. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. What you could do if you really want to take care of your genitals is the vulval area. The vulval area you can clean with a non-scented soap, mild non-scented soap. You can clean very well, scrub very well, scrub the, around the vulva, the pubic area and all that. But the vagina is very clean. Leave it like that now. Why are you trying to confuse yourself by using all those chemicals in that place? Some of these things may even cause allergic conditions for you, and you begin to itch. Some of them, as you're putting them in and removing them, you want to wash the place. You want to put the whole of your hand inside that place. I'm not talking about your fingers. I mean the whole of your arm. You want to push it in that inside that place. That place is not meant for the arm. I mean, it's meant for something God has created for it. So leave it alone. Let it be. If you really want to clean down there, just use lukewarm water or warm water and wash. Meanwhile, you can use a non-scented soap or a mild soap to make sure you wash around the vulva area in between your legs and wash them well, the labia and all that. But inside there, it's inside your honey pot. You don't need to put your hand in there. I mean, you have no business trying to wash in there. And people who practice douching, you don't have any business doing that. I am one person who is totally against it, unless there is really need for it. That is when I ask you to use them. But if there is no need for it, I mean, if there's no need, there is no need. I said before, that place is naturally made in such a way that it cleanses itself. It has the normal flora that guides the place. I mean, it guards the place, so it doesn't allow other infectious organisms to come in. But by the time you start altering the normal flora by using your harsh soap, by using your or perfumes or deodorants, especially people who feel there is a very kind of dirty smell or foul smelling odor that comes in, that comes out from there, they begin to use deodorants. How can you use deodorant on something that is smelling so bad? I mean, it doesn't add up now. Can you use deodorant? Just imagine somebody who has body odor and then the person now puts did not bathe very well, and then the person now puts body odor plus deodorant, not bathing very well. You know what that combination can give? Purge. So what am I trying to say in essence? If you're healthy down there, I mean, you should know. Most people have itching. It may not be as a result of infection. It may be as a result of certain things that are using and they are allergic to it. Yes, it might even be from the sanitary towels you're using, the scented sanitary towels or tampons you're using. So you try to minimize what you are putting in there. It is clean naturally, and you don't need to put your hand inside there to scrub. I want to keep it clean. No, that is not cleanliness. You're just harming yourself. And you should watch out for your kind of discharge. How is it smelling? What is the color like? What is the consistency? By the time you start seeing that the discharge that is coming from there is probably very yellowish, or is greenish, or is reddish, I think you should be on alert and consult your doctor. If the discharge smells so bad that you that is carrying your hotspot cannot even, your hotspot or your honey pot or your, I don't know what else they call it, cannot even stand this smell, I think you should see your doctor. You should know your normal smell. When you feel your discharge, you should be able to smell yourself and know what your normal is, so that when there is an abnormal, you will also know. And also try to maintain a very good hygiene in and around your menstrual cycle period, your menstrual period. Some people go ahead to use one sanitary towel throughout the day. You will stink. You will stink. And try as much as possible to bathe as many times as you can. Some people bathe twice daily. Some people don't even bathe a whole day. How can you, just a woman, you stay and you don't bathe a whole day? And especially for those who are plus size, you know that the labs probably will cover that place and the air will not, come in. So by the time you try to open it a little, the smell that may come from there may not be so pleasant. So it is your duty to take care of yourself. Check the kind of panties you're wearing, the undergarments you're wearing. Is it cotton? Is it nylon? Is it silk? Just check. I think cotton is the best for you because it's breathable. To allow air to go in there and go out. You need the most expensive soap to take care of that place. You don't need the most expensive deodorant or whatever feminine hygiene products that is out there. You don't need all those things. I'm telling you from experience. Just using warm water to wash that place is more than enough. Now outside of the vulva area, I mean the mons pubis, that is where you have the hairs and all that, that is where you can actually use mild scented soap to scrub. Yes, and by doing so you will be very fine. I mean very fine. You don't need to do too much so that you don't get too much, and too much might be negative. In the negative, you start getting discharge, start getting foul smelling odor from that place. Second question is, she says, I am a virgin, but I always smell I always have a smell and discharge in my hot pots or honey pots. What should I do? Now she says she is a virgin and she has a smell and a discharge from her honey pots. What she should do? Now, congratulations, you're still a virgin. I don't know how old you are. I didn't ask for age or anything. For the fact that you are still a virgin, I mean, it's something that is adorable. It's something that should be praised. It's something that should be celebrated. But make sure you give it to the right person anytime you decide to let it go. Meanwhile, now, for medically speaking, once the hymen is still intact, you are a virgin. But spiritually speaking, once even a little finger goes in there or rubs the clit or a mouth goes there, you're no longer a virgin. I hope you know that. But that's by the way. Now, for the fact that you are a virgin and you're having a discharge and the kind of smell that is coming from that place, you should be able to know what kind of smell is it. Is it so bad that you can't stand it? What kind of discharge is it? That you are a virgin doesn't mean you will not have yeast infection. But if we're talking about sexually transmitted infections, you might not have it because we have ruled that out for you being a virgin. But for yeast infection, being a virgin does not prevent you from having yeast infection. And anybody can have yeast infection. That is a topic for another time. I'm going to be treating just yeast infection on its own. So that you're having a discharge, what kind of discharge is it? What's the color? By the time you have a discharge that is quite thick or that is cheesy in nature, cheesy I mean, but in our local term, you know when you put garri inside water and the garri is a little more than the water and it feels like crumbs. It feels like crumbs. That is what and that's the kind of discharge you will be expecting if you have yeast infection. But I said that is aside, we'll be discussing it on another day. So for the fact that you are a virgin, just try and maintain good hygiene. It might be from poor hygiene, it might be from the fact that probably you're using an antibiotic for a very long period of time. It could be from diseases like diabetes mellitus. It could be from anything that will compromise your immunity. So all you need to do in this case is improve your hygiene. Check your underwears. Check the underwears you're using. Make sure that the discharge you're talking about is different from what it used to be. Because if you have monitored yourself over a long period of time and the discharge you're having is pretty much the same, then you shouldn't worry. But if you have monitored yourself over a long period of time and there is a change in your discharge, then it's something you should worry about. I mean, you should see your doctor and know why the change in your discharge. Most times, if you're having an increased discharge but you're not having any itchy or any soreness or any burning sensation, it may just be that you're in that time of your cycle when you have increased discharge. But if you're having all these other things together with the increased discharge, then you should alert your doctor. I hope I answered your question. So just check yourself and know what kind of smell are you getting. What kind of smell are you getting? Is it your usual smell? Is it something that is normal to you or something that is abnormal to you? And for you to know this, you must have been checking yourself over a long period of time. Is it normal to have a slight itch down there, even if I don't have abnormal discharge and it doesn't smell? I will not categorically say it is normal to have a slight itch without a increased discharge or a bad smell from there. But the thing is this: sometimes you see people who have slight itch in their honey pots or hot spots. the reason might not be as a result of infection. It might be as a result of your sensitivity to some of the things you're using. It might be an allergic situation where you're reacting to maybe a soap you're using, or a tampon, a scented tampon, or a scented sanitary towel, or a deodorant or cream, or whatever you are using. Meanwhile, these days, a lot of people do certain things that you can't even imagine to put that place in order. Some people will tell you that that place is so big, like a borehole, so they are just inserting all manner of things inside there to make it tight. I don't know why people think about this, but it is something that happens. A lot of people put a lot of things, all manner of concoction, all manner of herbs and all the rest of them to make the place tight. Does it work? Please, I want to know. Somebody should tell me in the comment section if it actually works. I don't know. But then, why should you put such things there? I mean, to make that place tight. If you feel you are a little more than what you used to be, try and do what we call Kegel exercise. I mean, it tightens up your muscles a little and thereby tightening the place. A kind of Kegel exercise is like when you are urinating and you try to hold back the urine, I mean voluntarily hold back the urine and then release it and then hold it back. Just do it. You can do 30 times in a day, 40 times in a day, and I mean over a period of time it will help you to tighten the place a little. But if you believe that inserting all manner of things inside your honey pot will make it to tighten up, I don't know where people get these things from. So as I said, having a slight itch without a discharge or a bad smell may be from allergic reaction to certain things. Yes, it might even be from the underwear you are using. Probably you didn't wash it for the first time and you're using it, and it may also be as a result of poor hygiene. Probably you went to the loo or you used the loo, you didn't clean properly. So check yourself and know what is causing all that. But if the itch continues and it's so unbearable, although you said it's light, but if it continues and it's so unbearable, you have to see your doctor. Meanwhile, if you're using anything that you're not supposed to use down there, like I said, that place is self-cleansing. If you're using anything you're not supposed to use down there, please discontinue and see what happens. So now we are going to the last but not the least question. Then this one says, I always clean down there. I have a very good hygiene, but I am very sensitive to everything. I am very sensitive to everything. And it has an odor. She says she's very sensitive to everything and it has an odor. Thank God you know what feminine hygiene is, and you say you take proper care of that place. I hope you're doing it in the right way. If you have a very good hygiene and you take care of that place very well, and yet you're having a bad odor that is coming out from there, all you need to do is recheck what you call hygiene. I mean, taking proper care of that place. Sometimes if you don't shave very well, lots of people don't shave, but if you have, I mean, if you try to clean that place very well, the place I mean, I'm not talking about the honey pot, I'm talking about the surroundings, because you have the anus very close to the honey pot. Remember, the fecal matter definitely will smell, and if you don't clean well or wash well or cleanse well, definitely you will smell. Check how you are cleaning. I mean, after using the loo, check how you are cleaning. Are you cleaning properly? Is it the way you should clean? From front backwards. Check how you are cleaning. And if you are washing, check how you are washing, and check what you're using to wash. And secondly, if you have hairs around your inner area, please make sure you shave them properly, because those hairs can trap some fecal matters. No matter how you clean or wash, they will still look, I mean, it will still smell. That's the simple truth. It will still smell until you learn how to shave and then properly wash your genital area. I mean, the external area. Now, another thing is this: if you have a bad odor coming from there, what kind of underwears are you using? Are you using cotton? Are you using silk? Are you using nylon? Because if you're using something that does not breathe, definitely all the sweat, all the whatever that should go off will be trapped there, and because there's no air going in and leaving, definitely it will give you a negative smell. So guys, these are the questions I have for today. If you still want to know more about how to take care of that place, I made a video, I think it's one of my videos. I made 2 videos about this particular topic, and I'm going to also link them above so that you will know exactly what to do. Thank you so much, and take care of yourself. If you have not subscribed, subscribe right